deep dive into the ongoing situation with Roblox, the absolute scummiest of scummiest people, just doing everything in their power to not protect the kids and actually put them in more danger. So let's let Mujin go into a little bit of information about this, shall we?
Jeffrey Epstein.
Okay, that's certainly a way to start the video.
Was a man of many different identities. Some would know him as a very rich Wall Street investor. Others would have doubts that he's affiliated with a foreign intelligence agency. One thing was certain, though, this man was a diddler.
Yeah,
and throughout
a piece
the many
of shit.
decades of his life, he'd make it a point to collect as many victims as he could. But even though he has so much money and power, it didn't necessarily...
Bro, whatever happened to this guy? Did he... I think he died, right? But what about the logs, the files? Did they just burn in hell? I'm confused.
...mean that it was going to be easy. Our poor little Jeffrey would have to do all of the work by himself personally, isolating victims and taking advantage of them. Luckily for him, at some point in his life, he would get helped by his assistant, Ghislaine Maxwell. But man, it must have been such hard work to ruin all these poor innocent young girls' lives. And one can't help but think, what if Jeffrey was born 20 or 30 years later? What if he was simply born in the wrong generation? Because if he had waited just a bit longer, he would have been able to do all this for free and with no need to have hundreds of millions of...
Because of... Bro, I really fucking wondered where this was going for a second. I forgot this was a Roblox video.
And powerful connections in society. All he'd have to do is make one simple account on a platform called Roblox. A game that openly markets itself to children, all while doing their absolute best to protect the people who would seek to hurt them the most.
It's insane.
Predators. This has been an ongoing problem for way too long, spanning many years, featuring articles like this written by Bloomberg with the title Roblox Pedophile Problem. Featuring many games such as these, spaces made specifically to attract minors and do some...
It's so disgusting to me how this has been a problem for so long and nothing has happened. I'm trying to think of the right fucking word to use. Disgusting doesn't do the word that I want to use justice. This is the kind of shit that I imagine happening on like the dark web, not a fucking children's game. Why did this go unmoderated for so long?
Very weird things with them. You'd have such disturbing cases pop up in relation to this game and what it does to minors that for most people, while outraged, couldn't really do much except watch with horror on the sidelines. But now, after a major incident involving Roblox's executive team and its own CEO, it's facing its biggest existential threat to date. You have a U.S. congressman by the name of Ro Khanna publicly calling them out and making a petition.
Oh, wow. They actually had a congressman calling them out for it?
To hold them accountable. You have the Attorney General of the state of Louisiana suing Roblox directly and calling the platform the perfect place for pedophiles. The company is now facing multiple lawsuits over child safety, and some of its biggest and most well-known content creators are quitting its incentive program.
I am so glad so many people are just quitting the creator program for this, because I know, and listen, it sucks because it's a lot of people's livelihoods, but at the same time, it shows so much character. Fuck the people that are running this goddamn company, dude. Fuck the people.
Program and pretty much boycotting the game. This has been such a shit show that Chris Hansen himself, the man known from the show To Catch a Predator, has come out of retirement to make a documentary about Roblox.
What?
And speaking of Roblox, they've lost over $12 billion in market capitalization in just 24 hours after they had conducted a disastrous live stream in which they tried their best to apologize.
That was 8 days ago. Where's it at now? No clue. Interesting.
Guys, I say this with no exaggeration. Roblox is facing its biggest existential threat yet. But why? These predators have been running free for years. What changed now? Well, let's talk about it. Even though I'm on vacation, I got myself a laptop because I knew something was going to happen as soon as I went on vacation. And here we are. So without further ado, let's do this.
Lock in, baby.
All right, so 13.8 billion years ago, the most important event in history occurred. The creation of the universe itself, dubbed the Big Bang.
Oh, we really are starting from the beginning, huh?
Humans would arrive way later, and throughout our history, we'd achieve many great things.
We could skip a few chapters of this, I think, Mujin, but...
We'd also, unfortunately, destroy many great things. All of this led up to the second most important date in humanity's history, which was September 1st, 2006, when Roblox had officially released. Now you have to understand, back then, this was a ridiculous idea for a game.
Holy fuck, this looks so shit. Never seen this. Never seen this. That is interesting. I mean, it's got a lot of shit. It's 2006.
This concept of having an empty game that's meant to be populated by games made by players was alien. And it was so incredibly niche. I can say this myself because...
And it's a very cool idea if it's moderated properly.
I was there at the beginning, back in 2010 when I created my account. I'm not going to show my character name because Roblox is probably going to ban me for this video, but look at my drip. I'm still wearing a Disney XD shirt, okay, and a helmet. Back when Roblox had collaborated with Disney XD, that's like ages ago. Back then, there was still another currency called tickets.
I'm sorry, guys. I gotta keep it a buck here, dude. Literally nothing about this game has ever appealed to me. I don't know if it's the art style. I don't know if it's because there's just so many children on there. I don't know what it is. I have never, I don't think once in my life ever played this game or even had the urge to try it out.
In parallel to Robux, you earned tickets just for playing. The most popular game at the time looked like this. It was a very bare bones FPS.
Okay.
When I would tell my friends about Roblox, they'd look at me like I'm crazy, like I'm
this guy's dog shit.
Weird. It definitely had a very rough start, and I'm sure the team behind it had moments where they were like, wait, is this going to fail?
Target,
but then, a couple years later, Minecraft would release and would gain massive popularity throughout the years that followed.
Yep.
At the same time, the concept of modding would become very...
Oh my god, Gary's mod. I did play a shit ton of Gary's mod, dude. Prop on.
Very popular within the gaming community. One of the best examples of this was Elder Scrolls V Skyrim when it released in 2011. And
Go-to game, one of my favorite games of all time.
Had a very well-rounded mod creation kit, giving this game more longevity than anyone could have ever predicted. Over time, the expectations that gamers had for a video game started to change. This is when you'd have both millennials and especially Gen Z expect more from their games.
True.
Either in terms of content you initially get when buying the game, or with content that players can produce.
For sure.
And soon enough, this game that had gone all in into the concept of user-generated content...
1 million plus plays, 149 user-created games?
Finally started bearing the fruit of their labor. In 2012, they had reached a very big milestone. 149 different user-created games had reached over 1 million plays. And in that same year, 2012, they had launched on iOS, with Android following a couple years later.
Smart for business, of course.
They had seen early on how big the mobile market was going to be for games, and this helped them tremendously catapult into being one of the most played games of all time, reaching other platforms soon after, like consoles. According to Roblox's numbers, the monthly active users they have are in the hundreds of millions.
Almost 400 million monthly active users? Wait, that sounds insane. How many does like Genshin have and stuff? That sounds fucking nuts. Doesn't Genshin have like 30 million or something? It's like not even in the it's not in the hundreds of millions, right? Almost 400 million is insane.
With them reaching an average of 380 million monthly average players in 2024. An absolutely ridiculous number that was helped a lot by the pandemic. As you can see, by the end of 2019, they had 113 million monthly active users. And by the beginning of 2021, they had doubled that number, effectively going from 100 million to 200 million just like that. Like it was nothing. But you see, having active players is cool, but seeing that all this content is generated by other players, how do you even make money? Well, Roblox from the beginning had a currency called Robux. The only way to earn it is buying it, and it's the only way you can buy cosmetics for your character.
What the fuck is Fat Hammy? I probably would buy Mini Elgato Cat, to be fair. Can, like, people who create the games make, like, games where you have to buy things and then earn money from it? Probably, right? Probably, because that's when there was the whole drama about, like, people hiring, quote-unquote, literal children to work basically fucking sweatshop shifts for them. Yes? Okay.
To make them look different. Now, for a long time, most developers thought, well, listen, if we want to make a lot of money, we got to target the adult single male demographic that has a lot of income ready to spend. This is what gacha games did, for example, and it was a massive success, but Western developers had a harder time doing so. Roblox, on the other hand, came in and completely rewrote this entire philosophy. You see, when you make a free game targeting children, they're all gonna play it. And eventually, once they get very attached to the game and want to customize their character, guess who's paying for Robux? Their parents. Look at this thread on Reddit here. Anyone else tired of their kids asking for Robux? Or how about this YouTube video? How to convince your parents to buy you Robux on Roblox.
Bro, I low-key, I'm pretty sure I've seen this video. And it is so fucking cringe.
sitting at over 111,000 views.
Maybe not that exact video. I've seen one that's a lot more popular. Maybe it was a skit that I saw, to be fair. It was a long time ago.
And other than the fact that
Why did it search for it? Probably just came up in my recommended.
parents were absolutely losing their minds over their kids asking for Robux, you'd also have articles like this pop up. A 24-year-old Roblox developer making over $1 million a year shares how he launched his own game development studio. After earning $100,000 in 1 month from one of his games while he was an intern, he left college. So on one hand, you were making money from kids begging their parents for Robux, and on the other, you were attracting young talent that had massive potential with
Holy
the idea that they
shit.
could be millionaires if they made the next hit game on your platform.
That is
At this point,
wild.
other developers were looking at Roblox and they were drooling. How did we miss this gold mine? How could we not see that the next step in gaming was going to be user-generated content?
Hey, Genshin realized quite late, but they realized.
The video game industry, ever since 2022, has been going through an apocalypse, with over 35,000 jobs lost between 2022 and
Jesus.
2025. One of the only companies that didn't go through any mass layoffs was Roblox, completely avoiding the current video game slump. I mean,
I guess this is 2019, a $2.5 billion company. I honestly thought it'd be more for some reason.
at this point, for investors,
It's a hell
for
of a lot
gamers,
still.
for other companies, Roblox was unstoppable. But if you've watched any of my other videos, you understand that the story doesn't end with success. If anything, the biggest problems arise once you finally find that success.
Okay.
And Roblox had a reckoning coming. As I mentioned, this game was targeting children. And that's exactly what it got. 56% of Roblox users are under the age of 16.
That's wild.
I'm very glad they specified age of 16 and didn't say 18 or just minors in general, because now all the cringe lords that would normally type, well, actually 16 is legal in some states, can't. This means that 56% of Roblox players are not legal in any way, shape, or
Is this a thing? This is like most fucking states, bro. I think even in the UK it's 16.
form. They can't give consent about anything. In fact, Roblox, the company, would go even further and say, according to the company, their monthly player base includes half of all American children under the age of 16. These guys have more of a monopoly on American children than schools do. And they spend over
What?
6 hours a day there. And so, of course, even though they had figured out how to make a lot of money, Roblox had a very big problem. When a platform attracts such a huge population of children, they're faced with a very big responsibility, which is keeping them safe. And unfortunately, Roblox would do such an abysmal job keeping anyone safe on their platform to the point where the worst kinds of people took notice. And
Of
they took
course.
full advantage of that. Roblox blew up.
Oh, this is okay. We're almost 10 minutes into the video. I have to give a fucking trigger warning here, obviously, for pedophilia and disgusting shit. And honestly, I'm gonna give a trigger warning for my own actions and language for the rest of this video, because I'm gonna get real fucking pissed off, bro. I hate this kind of shit. It really boils my blood. Jesus.
During the pandemic. That's something everyone is aware of. But even before 2020, you would start seeing articles like this popping up, saying, deputies say Vero Beach man used popular video game platforms to target children. Scott used popular video games such as Roblox, a multiplayer online game, to coerce children as young as 10 into sending naked photos in exchange for virtual gaming currency.
I think the death penalty is okay at a certain point. You know, I'm just gonna put that out there.
2020, the Daily Mail would write, Roblox computer game is under fire for secret red light district where young kids are exposed to digital sex parties, racial slurs, and players solicit nudes and link to graphic images.
When I was a kid, if I loaded up Call of Duty fucking Modern Warfare 2 on my Xbox fucking 360, I was exposed to this endlessly. Holy shit. Never this shit. What the fuck happened, right?
Including an image from an investigation that CBS had conducted in this game with a player model that's naked saying, I'm 14, who want get freaky on Snap? The Rolling Stone would also write an article about this, saying, inside the underground strip club scene on kid-friendly gaming site Roblox.
What
Roblox is
the
a place for
fuck?
kids to create and play games. Now, some are earning Robux giving lap dances in virtual clubs.
What the fuck, dude? I will again ask the question, how the fuck has this been allowed for so long? You're literally allowing people to make games where children can be strippers. It's so hard to watch this shit, dude. It
It was
genuinely is.
becoming very evident for anyone who was like Jeffrey Epstein that because
Just sell
children
El
relied on
Gato.
their parents to get Robux, sometimes those parents might say no. So if you gave them an alternate way to earn these Robux by doing some very illegal things, the odds of that happening were definitely in the predator's favor.
Oh,
Some
for
of these
sure.
articles I'm seeing are heartbreaking. These children were sending inappropriate images of themselves for as little as $5 for like 500 Robux. This wasn't just because they were naive and completely innocent because, you know, they're children. And it wasn't just for cosmetics either. Having Robux in this game that they probably spend so many hours on also meant power. This is a whole other topic for a separate video. But having played Roblox myself recently, I can tell you right now that every single top game on this platform is so painfully and obviously pay to win.
Oh, of course it is, because they're the ones that people get addicted to as well.
It's the most shameless thing I have ever seen in gaming, and not enough people have called it out. You could be playing a quote-unquote skill-based game, and if you die, you can revive yourself by paying money and
Great.
just shit on other players.
No skill
When
involved
you give
then.
a currency this much power in children's heads, in a game that they play for hours upon hours every single day and make friends in and make a community
I love how Bro's just got the Epstein B-roll.
in, the Jeffrey Epsteins of this world will take notice very
Oh,
quickly
God.
and take advantage of the entire situation. Why bother putting yourself in danger by going on forums or Instagram or Snapchat? Why risk getting caught by law enforcement posing as a child when you have
True.
56% of people playing this game being children? When
Yeah.
you can get illegal favors from them for as little as $5. And more importantly, the platform you're on barely takes any actions against people like you. That was just the icing on the cake at that point.
Of
Around
course.
the end of 2023, a YouTuber by the name of Ruben Sim would create a video titled, "Do Roblox Reports Really Work?" in which he would
Clearly not.
find people going against TOS, targeting children, being disgusting, reporting them multiple times,
Jesus
and not getting a
Christ.
single one of them banned through the report system, showing just how ineffective Roblox was at keeping children safe and literally indirectly protecting.
This might be a crazy thing to say here. Investigate the entire team that is supposed to handle those reports. Because holy fuck, what are you doing? I remember the CEO's account got terminated since it was being investigated, I think. No shot, right? Jesus Christ. Okay.
Protecting these disgusting people. This problem would get so bad that the National Center on Sexual Exploitation would include it in its Dirty Dozen list in 2023.
Yeah.
The Dirty Dozen list is an annual campaign calling out 12 mainstream entities for facilitating, enabling, and even profiting from sexual abuse and exploitation.
Spotify? GitHub? What the fuck are these companies doing?
2023.
Weird, dude.
The Dirty
Weird.
Dozen list is an annual campaign calling out 12 mainstream entities
How the fuck does that happen on Spotify? GitHub, I'm kind of, I don't know. I guess I don't really know much about GitHub at Spotify.
for facilitating, enabling, and even profiting from sexual abuse and exploitation. Roblox has been an honorary member of this list every single year ever since being first included. But they
Okay.
wouldn't budge. The incidents would keep getting worse. A man was charged in kidnapping an 11-year-old that he met through Roblox. And still, radio silence. If you ever brought up this issue, they would say, well, hey, we have parental controls. You could set your child's age and it wouldn't show them adult-themed games. And you could
Okay.
even block certain games that you don't want your child accessing. But setting the age on a game was the creator's responsibility, and most of them set it to all ages. Why wouldn't they? They want the most players, right? And Roblox never checked that. And as for the games that the parents can block, there was a limit of 100. Bear in mind, Roblox has tens
Why? I know why. But why? If you're fully aware that there's like thousands upon thousands of 18 plus games, why make the block limit 100 if you're going to give the parental controls and then limit the parental controls based on what the fucking game developers making these 18 plus games say that their game is for and not investigate it? If someone's making a fucking underground strip club for children and saying that that game is like safe for children and you're not enforcing your fucking rules on that game, you stupid fucks. How the fuck have they gotten away with this for so long? Oh my god, dude. Jesus Christ.
of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of different games. So see if that helps. The Roblox community, content creators, local media outlets, hell, even countries would talk about this. Turkey banned Roblox at some point, citing
Based.
child endangerment. But we'd hear nothing from this company. They wouldn't address this as if it didn't exist. They were clearly making a lot of money. Investors were very happy with how well the stock was performing. And it
Of
seemed
course
like
they were.
shareholder interests were above anything else, even child safety.
I'm curious real quick. Why is it going back up? new events and shit. I wish people didn't treat this as like any other drama. It's not like a fucking content creator controversy where they told someone to fuck off. It's not something that people should just forget about after 24 fucking hours. It's not like a gacha game's just done the most heinous shit and then the next update comes out and everybody forgives them. This is literally child endangerment.
So they simply didn't care and were hoping it would go away while they still printed money. Well, that was until 2024, when even Wall Street took notice and threatened their reputation like never before.
Okay.
Hindenburg Research is a forensic financial research firm that's fairly well known and respected on Wall Street.
Okay.
They specialize in writing very damaging reports about companies conducting fraud and other weird, suspicious, illegal activities. They have a solid track record exposing corrupt companies and cooperating with the US government to bring them to justice. And while all of this might sound amazing from a moral standpoint, it's also tied to how they make money. You see, in the stock market, you can either buy a stock or you can buy contracts. The two most popular contracts are a call, in which you're betting an amount of money that a stock is going to go up at a certain date, and a put, otherwise known as a short, in which you're betting an amount of money that at a certain date a stock is going to go down. If you end up being right about either a call or a short, you stand to make a lot of money, in some cases over 100 times the amount. But if you end up being
this sounds insane.
Wrong, well, you lose everything. Hindenburg would be very transparent. After they publish a report about a corrupt company, they would buy a sizable short position to put their money where their mouth is, but also to straight up make money. A lot of it. On October 8th, 2024, they would come out with this report titled Roblox: Inflated Key Metrics for Wall Street and a Pedophile Hellscape for Kids. Now, you have to understand, this title by itself was a bombshell, even by Hindenburg Research's standards. When this dropped, all of Wall Street was talking about it because it was pretty much attacking the two most important things that Roblox had pride in: its very high player counts and its kid-oriented demographic. Hindenburg Research would show up, well...
But they're correct with this. Sure, that their profession is publishing damaging information about companies for this kind of shit, right? And it's all for a profit. But they were correct with what they said.
With research, and show us that a big chunk of this player count is actually a bunch of alts and bots, showing us just how easy it is to create multiple different accounts, and how a huge chunk of players, sometimes half in some of the most popular games on the platform, came from both Vietnam and the Philippines. Countries that sold many services to emulate multiple accounts on their machines, with the goal of farming as much currency as they can in some of the most popular games in order to sell the account later on eBay.
Holy shit, I didn't even think about that kind of stuff as well, for just like bot farming to sell accounts. I bet they could make a fuck ton of money doing that, dude.
A former Roblox employee...
Why does that have a shipping cost? Isn't it all digital?
Would talk to Hindenburg Research and say internally, there is awareness that a lot of this activity was happening in Vietnam when these sort of things occurred, and that inflated a lot of our numbers. Yeah. Like crazy, insane in terms of engagement, daily active users, and stuff like that. Hindenburg points out that even though Roblox has all these hundreds of millions of monthly active users, it hadn't made a single profit since 2021.
Wait, what? Bro, I kind of assumed after all this that Roblox was like making hella money. What do you mean they haven't made profit since 2021?
Since going public on the stock market, losing $2.6 billion in 3 years. This section had directly attacked Roblox as a company, how they operate, their financials, and it concerned some of their top investors in Wall Street. But while this report so far only served to hurt their wallets, the next section would only serve to make them want to puke when they realized that Roblox was nothing more than a playground for pedophiles. They would point out that in 2023, the National Center on Sex Exploitation bluntly told the Roblox CEO, extensive evidence suggests that Roblox has not sufficiently prioritized child protection and has struggled to implement safety practices commensurate with its growth, resulting in a proliferation of exploitative and harmful content and predatory behavior. They would also mention the Dirty Dozen list that we saw earlier, as well as...
there needs to be a lot of investigations on a lot of people working at this company, dude. Not gonna cat from the top down.
Bloomberg's article. Hindenburg would go on to show us many different incidents from 2019 to 2024 in which predators were arrested for having kidnapped, raped, or even traded sexual content with minors thanks to Roblox. But they weren't just going to end it here. Hindenburg took it a step further and actually tested out just how safe this platform was on their own.
This was all from Roblox. I'll take you, dude. I know prison is for like Rehabilitation, that's it. Yeah, you can like rehabilitate people to get them back into society. I think these specific people should quite literally be locked up in a cell with nothing in it forever. It's fucking disgusting.
They attempted to set up an account under the name Jeffrey Epstein, only to see that the name was taken, along with 900 plus variations. They had found one account in particular called Jeff Epstein Supporter that had earned multiple badges for spending time in kids' games. They found a guy with the username iGrowMiners and another one, I'm not even going to read that out loud, but it's ridiculous. After this incredible revelation, just barely a few minutes after creating their account, they would register as a child, more specifically as a 9-year-old. They would then type Diddy in the search bar and would see many different games featuring Diddy, with some titled Diddy Party, Freaky Diddy Simulator, Diddy Survival, Midnight at Diddy's Party, and things such as Escape to Epstein Island. They would then mention how Roblox claims it reviews every single image, video, and audio file uploaded to Roblox, while Hindenburg would join the game with the name
Really?
School Simulator, a game that had over 29 million visits and had 0 age restrictions, and within just a few minutes, a player took out a sign with a massive sausage on it. This was literally within a few minutes of joining School Simulator. Checking every single image, my ass. Actually, maybe you do. Maybe you like this kind of content, Roblox.
I mean, they openly admitted to checking every single image. They said that. So this is... Listen, if they want to say that, they have to stand by that shit. The devs want to say, yeah, we check every single image. Then they checked this because they said they did. And they allowed it.
At this point, I wouldn't be surprised. Now, what was even more worrying in this report is that Hindenburg would type the name adult in the search bar and find a group called Adult Studios with over 103,000 members. This was a group that was openly soliciting sexual favors and trading child pornography.
World's getting a bit crowded. I think if we remove around about 103,000 people, we'd have a little bit more space, a little bit more oxygen for the good ones.
It was very simple, right? All you had to do was find vulnerable children, give them Robux, and then trade whatever they send you with other people. Yeah. This is like Jeffrey Epstein's paradise. And in just a few months, Hindenburg had found over 38 different Roblox groups where this was being done. Whenever one of them gets locked, another one gets made, and would take a very long time for it to get deleted.
Oh my god, that was just one of them. That was just one of the fucking groups. They easily found 38 of them. That was one of them. That's not even saying that there's only 38 either. That was just what they easily found.
Roblox. But what was really crazy about Adult Studios in particular isn't just the fact that it had over 103,000 people, but that it has existed since 2009. Yeah. 15 years, and Roblox had taken no action whatsoever. There would be many people in these groups that had bios saying their age, of course, minors, giving their Discord use.
Maybe when it reaches the age of 18, you know, and it can make its own decisions, maybe then they'll take it down. Because they seem to only care about that.
Username and saying that they sell, you know what, for Robux. This would make anyone want to puke just reading this and seeing how even if you were to make a literal platform on the dark web to lure in minors, it wouldn't do a better job than Roblox. It's ridiculous. When this report came out, Roblox, unlike other instances where children were actually put in danger, would respond almost immediately.
Attempts to bar child predators as
You can pause the video.
Wait, what the fuck was that? I'm going to pause on this. Roblox attempts to bar child predators as short sellers target the popular game platform. What the fuck does that even mean?
When were actually put in danger, would respond almost immediately. You can pause the video if you'd like to read the whole thing, but in a nutshell, they'd say that they take content moderation very seriously, and that everything in that report shouldn't be taken seriously because Hindenburg themselves have an agenda. They simply want to make money profiting off of Roblox's stock going down.
You literally banned the person that was exposing pedophiles on your fucking game without banning the pedophiles that they exposed. What do you mean they have an agenda, you stupid fox?
But overall, seeing that Hindenburg's report was like over 100 pages long, this 1 page and a quarter was extremely disappointing. Like, that's all you have to say for yourself, really? After the report...
Like, are we gonna act like this isn't the most heinous, stupid-ass fucking shit I've heard all year? And I'm part of the gadget community, bro. I've heard some stupid shit.
Take a bit of a beating back in October of 2024, but in a few months would recover fully. And in around 8 months would double from $50 to $100. Even
Wow.
Hindenburg, who had taken down companies based on their shady practices, couldn't stop Roblox. Many people were hoping, including me, that this reaching Wall Street would finally make something happen, but it didn't. This wasn't the first time someone was bringing up these problems, and Roblox had...
The thing is, when it's very clearly about money, it reaching Wall Street would only give them extra protections, I feel like, rather than make them have to come out and fix that shit. Am I crazy for that?
done what they had done before. Sit back, ignore it, and it'll go away by itself. Well, enough was enough. Many Roblox players who had grown up with this game had noticed just how others were being taken advantage of on the platform. Once they realized that they could report someone over 100 times for taking advantage of minors and having nothing happen to them, they decided to take matters into their own hands. This is when you would start seeing over the years many of these videos start to pop up of Roblox players working with law enforcement agencies to get predators off the game and off the streets for good. This would follow the same strategy that someone like Chris Hansen would do. On his show, To Catch a Predator, he would have someone pose as a minor, talk to these predators, lure them to a location in which the predator thinks they can take advantage of the minor, and have the police...
Bro, I need to see the Chris Hansen thing with Schlepp, dude. I need to see that.
One of the most popular Roblox predator hunters would be Schlepp. Someone who had been playing the game for many years, ever since being a kid, someone who had met his girlfriend on the platform and holds a lot of love for the game, but also a victim. Someone who has been groomed on the platform before and doesn't want to see a single child suffer the same fate as him. He would make quite a few videos about this and would work directly with law enforcement to arrest over 6 predators, with some having done way worse things than what they were doing on Roblox, sometimes possessing illegal material of minors on their hard drive. It really sucked how Roblox was doing nothing to protect children, but it was so admirable how people like Schlepp took time out of their day, worked countless weeks and months while coordinating with law enforcement.
I like how it's pronounced like Schlepp.
Capture these freaks to keep children safe. But again, instead of taking notice, instead of actually trying to help them or hear what they had to say, Roblox would just ignore them, ghosting them whenever they'd reach out and never acknowledging their existence. That will be until August 10th, 2025, when instead of finally trying to improve the platform
16 days ago as of today, by the way,
for children's safety, they would instead take the unfathomable decision of banning the very people who were keeping their platform safe. On August...
This is where everything started coming out and people started to actually take a fucking stance. And this is where, honestly, the uprising needed to happen, right?
9th, 2025, Schlepp would tweet this out on his Twitter, saying, "Every account I've ever made on Roblox has been terminated, and
Jesus
Roblox
Christ.
sent a cease and desist letter to me. Not a single Roblox predator I've ever gotten arrested has faced any action similar to this. I have no words."
I think that's the worst part as well, right? Bro got all of his accounts banned and a cease and desist. Yet none of the predators he's literally gotten arrested by the police with evidence have had this happen to them from Roblox. That should tell you all you need to know.
Even though this was my livelihood and career outside of Schlepp, I have no plans to return to Roblox. I will not be making any new accounts. So this was already a very shocking development. Why would Roblox take action against someone like Schlepp, doing his best to keep their platform safe?
Good question.
Well, the next day, on August 10th, 2025, he would release this video titled, "Roblox is threatening to sue me for protecting kids," in which he would show us what the cease and desist letter actually said. While Roblox acknowledges that your stated intentions may be to protect children, and while it recognizes the serious nature of online predatory behavior, your methods, including failing to immediately report suspicious activity to Roblox through proper channels, are actively interfering with Roblox's established...
We're banning you because you reported the pedophiles to the police before us, the video game. Fuck you. Whoever fucking wrote this needs arresting themselves. Scumbag of the fucking earth.
Safety protocols, and critically are exposing Roblox's users to increased risk. So already this paragraph is wild, saying that what Schlepp is doing was putting people in danger, when in reality it was only doing the opposite by arresting predators. They would then say, accordingly, and pursuant to Roblox's policies, Roblox will be closing your accounts. Please note that Roblox community standards prohibit opening new accounts to evade an enforcement action. Therefore, we demand that you cease and desist from accessing the Roblox platform. Please be advised that Roblox reserves all rights to take any and all appropriate legal action against you should your violations of the Roblox community.
Now, here's the thing as well. If they take legal action, they might have already, actually. I don't know. But it's going to be really hard for Schlep to fight that in a court of law, right? Because this is a multi-billion-dollar company. Even if they are fucking not profiting, they've still got a shit ton of money behind them and investors. And it's going to be really hard to win that court case. It really is. Even though it's very obvious to the entire rest of the fucking world with more than 3 brain cells to rub together that this is just fucked up. It's going to be so hard for him. I feel really bad for Schlep. At the end of the day, it's the kids, right? The kids are the ones that are at the biggest risk here.
These standards continue. So not only were all of your accounts banned, not only were you being blamed for making the platform a bigger danger, but if you just as much attempted to continue using Roblox, we will be suing the hell out of you as a billion-dollar company.
Yeah.
You know, this is really interesting because it seems to me as if they're siding with the predators.
Yeah.
I think that's what most people concluded from the cease and desist letter.
100%.
But what's ironic is their usage of using the appropriate channels to report people. This is when Schlep would point out that he was actually threatened with a terroristic threat on this platform in Roblox by a user called Nepali Incel, went ahead and reported him, and nothing happened. In fact, the biggest irony here is that Schlep ended up being banned before him. And what was really interesting too is the fact that Roblox was calling Schlep a vigilante. But Jadion, a very big YouTuber that Schlep...
Jadion had like, I don't know, bro. Like at the start of his content creation journey, I feel like people thought it was just a massive piece of shit, right? And then he started doing this, and I respected him a lot for this. But, bro, I have to say this. I've seen some of these videos that he does, and a lot of the time, I could not sit there in front of someone that I know is a fucking pedophile and has sent disgusting things to children and act all nice. I don't have that shit in me, dude. Props to him for being able to do that, whether it's for content or not, but, it's probably because he knows that if he's nice to them, they're going to be willing to say more, which makes perfect sense. I just couldn't fucking do it. I could not.
Had collaborated with multiple times to arrest predators, pointed this out about the usage of this term. Watch.
Okay, they're calling Schlep and us vigilante groups, right? The definition of a vigilante is someone that takes
where's the 4 hidden microphones, bro? Jesus Christ.
The law into their own hands. Throughout any of our Roblox interactions, have you guys ever seen us beat the crap out of these dudes, handcuff them ourselves, take them over to the...
No, but I low-key wish I did.
No. We literally just have conversations with them. We report everything to the police. When the police get there on scene, they see obviously that there was a crime committed, and they do the right thing and arrest them.
Yeah.
I mean, I really don't know any more of a proper channel than literally reporting to the police themselves.
So essentially, Roblox was making Schlep out to be some rogue Batman figure, ditching the entire justice system and taking justice into their own hands, deciding who's guilty and laying out the punishment to them without any intervention from the law, when this could not have been further from the truth. Schlep would always make it a point to be coordinating with law enforcement, only supplying them with necessary evidence. That's it. That's the opposite of a vigilante.
And the people that got arrested and charged didn't get their accounts terminated on Roblox, but Schlep did.
That's a good Samaritan. More and more people were starting to understand that Roblox's problem with Schlep just didn't really make sense. Do you really have a problem with someone taking time out of their own day, working with law enforcement, pursuing someone legally so that they can't use your platform to...
Who is this guy?
Take advantage of children? I mean, it didn't really make much sense. This story was so ridiculous that it would result in Schlep gaining a lot of traction. This is when he would take the opportunity to show everyone how just 10 years ago, after having been groomed for multiple years by an adult through Roblox, he decided to leave this planet, but thankfully didn't succeed. As he was laying on the hospital bed, his mother would email Roblox support, telling them about what had happened. And the response was an absolute joke. It would start off saying, hey, really sorry your son's going through a tough time. Yeah, that sucks. We're going to do everything we can. Here's a couple of suicide hotline links. But anyway, if you're having any problems with any other players on Roblox, you should really use the report abuse button. Sincerely, Carlos, customer care, Roblox. I mean,
fuck you, Carlos.
Might as well just give them a middle finger at this point. Schlep said, nearly a decade later, I see very similar emails from Roblox regarding predators we get arrested.
Yeah,
nothing has changed. In fact, Edwin Dorsey
But they check all of those accounts and moderate all of those accounts. Rest assured, guys, they're making sure that these predators are not banned.
would point out that so many cases go unreported, undetected, or contribute to the deaths of children. Below is just one lawsuit in which a 10-year-old girl claimed abuse through Roblox. She attempted to leave this planet twice in 2020. Schlepp was unfortunately far from being the only one here, with Edwin also showing us over 30 cases from 2019 up until 2025 of predators, sometimes even people who are already on the registered sex offender list, use Roblox to attain their very disgusting goals involving minors.
I'm genuinely trying to wrap my head around why a person that's on like a child sex offenders register would be able to have access to the internet in general. Never mind this kind of stuff. I can't think of any reason why that would be a thing, to be honest.
And to add further salt into the wound, one day after Schlepp had
maybe I'm kind of biased because I don't think they should ever get out of jail, but
been banned, this paid emote got released called Catgirl Stretching. And let's be real here, this is not stretching. This will definitely get used for very weird RP. What happened to Schlepp was gaining traction very quickly within the Roblox community, and only a couple days after his video had released, one of the biggest Roblox YouTubers on the planet, Creekcraft.
I just think I'm ignorant when it comes to how much power money holds over things like the law, because I really don't get it. People always say money, and I'm like, yeah, but what? How? Maybe Schlepp will go into that in more detail at some point. I don't know.
Would tweet this out
Naive,
saying,
yeah.
There's been talks between very large Roblox YouTubers planning a mass exodus from the Roblox Star program.
Good.
Roblox developers planning hashtag free Schlepp chants at RDC, which is the annual Roblox convention, a few sponsorship opportunities in jeopardy due to Roblox's recent actions. That's where we're at right now. Things were getting real very fast, and Roblox couldn't afford to stay silent this time around. So on August 14th, 4 days after Schlepp had posted his initial video, they would tweet out, "For transparency, we are sharing more information about our decision to remove vigilantes from Roblox," linking a blog post on their website. This entire blog post would be them trying to justify...
Oh, isn't this where they doubled fucking down like dumb fucks?
Not
I think
only
it is.
them banning Schlepp, but the ban of any vigilante on Roblox. Anyone who was trying to protect children by going after predators, pretty much. I mean, look at their amazing reasoning on why they removed vigilantes.
Let's go through this again.
They said they've been monitoring vigilante activity on Roblox for some time. It started out as a group of people trying to give feedback to Roblox, telling them to do better, something they appreciated. But then, vigilante activity evolved. Instead of just reporting on safety issues, vigilantes started impersonating children and actively sought to connect with adult users. Those conversations mimicked inappropriate behavior and actively encouraged other users to connect on other social media and messaging.
Yeah, so mimicking inappropriate behavior is against their rules, guys. But actually engaging in real inappropriate behavior is totally fine. Just a heads up. If you expose a child predator by pretending to be a child, you're the one in the wrong. The child predator could get off scot-free. They could just keep playing the games and, you know, predatoring on children. Praying. Fuck. Jesus Christ. Yeah, it's just messed up. I don't really get it.
Thus bypassing Roblox's own safety systems. Oh, I see.
Yeah.
So because these vigilantes were posing as minors and taking these poor predators away from Roblox onto other platforms meant that they were just as bad as predators, if not worse, which is why they should be banned. Yeah, of course, that makes total sense. Adding that none of the activity discussed above is acceptable on Roblox. We have teams.
I really think the only reasonable outcome for all of this is to investigate every single person on that Roblox team.
Dedicated to reviewing and investigating the reports we receive. But at this point, no one believes that anymore.
Yep.
As soon as this disastrous statement would come out, Schlepp would tweet, "Roblox has tripled down in their latest newsroom post, outrageously comparing me to actual predators because my decoys tell adults that they're children. We use the same tactics that the FBI,
Bro is a reverse predator.
ICAC, and local police departments use in their own operations to catch predators." This is something they actually said, dude. Similar to actual predators, they often impersonated minors, actively approached other users, then tried to lead them to other platforms to have sexually explicit conversations, which is against our terms of use. Mind you, this whole post was written by Matt Kaufman, their chief safety officer.
Stupid fuck. Fire him and investigate him. Look through everything he has. What a stupid fucking individual. Holy shit. This person is fucking dangerous.
This is the man that needs to be held accountable, that so many children are being taken advantage of. And he's out here saying that Schlepp and what he was doing was just as bad as Predator.
Didn't he already leave? He left? Wonder why. Wonder why, guys. Wonder why the chief safety officer, after posting something like this, would sell most of their stock and then leave the fucking company. It's like a little mystery box up in here when you get two goodies, because now we get to see what the fuck happens to him. There's gotta be an investigation, dude. Gotta be.
Do you understand how crazy this is to say to someone who was literally groomed on your platform for multiple years and tried to leave this planet, ending up in a hospital bed? That is...
But every time Mujin says leave this planet, I'm thinking like they tried to fucking go to space. That's not what he's talking about. It's way more sinister than that. But I dead ass, every time he says it, I just imagine people in a fucking rocket ship.
Wild. So, of course, very shortly after, they got community noted on this tweet, saying the blog post that Roblox linked in this X post claims that Roblox takes action against bad actors after receiving a report. An experiment ran by YouTubers shows that 100 blatantly obvious sexual accounts were reported and none were removed.
Not a
Referring
single
to the video
one.
I showed you earlier titled, "Do Roblox player reports really work?" So the Roblox community wasn't having it. Twitter community notes wasn't having it. I mean, at this point, no one believed them anymore. This is why the day afterwards,
Okay, where does the law come into it, though? And what do they say? You know, where does the law get into the nitty-gritty of these details?
would officially
When can we actually, like, see something come of this?
announced that he was leaving the Roblox Star program and cutting all ties to the Roblox development team. This irresponsible attitude towards minors and these very blatant lies had gone on for way too long. But what was really insane here is that Creek later would join a game in Roblox called The Schlepp Funeral. And he, as well as everyone watching him, would find out that Roblox was taking measures to block any mention of Schlepp on their platform. Watch as this map gets banned within a few seconds after he joins.
Wait.
You know what I mean? Uh-oh. 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 Oh, I'm not banned. Okay.
Oh, they scared as fuck.
Well, they got us, chat. They got us. We're rebels.
Holy shit.
Yeah, you're not crazy. Starting as early as August 13th, 2025, if you made a new account on Roblox and used Schlepp in its name, it would get banned. And if you would put the name Schlepp in your bio,
But having fucking Epstein in your name and having Diddy in your name is not... I feel like more parents need to be aware of this shit, dude. That's the issue, right? I feel like more parents need to be aware of this and start taking a fucking stance and making some serious fucking changes to what they're allowing their kids to look at on the fucking internet. Holy shit, this is ridiculous.
you'd get a warning. But hey, if you still want to call your account Jeffrey Epstein, you can. You'll get no ban, no warning.
Brother.
Great. Schlepp would tweet out, Schlepp games are allegedly being taken down. Same with shirts and assets, but not bathroom games. I mean, at this point, it had barely just been 5 days since Schlepp released his video, and this had already reached the mainstream. It was that ridiculous. Soon enough, you had a congressman by the name of Rokana reach out to Schlepp directly concerning Roblox's child safety issues, only to then afterwards create a petition demanding that Roblox not only take...
Kids shouldn't be on the internet. It's like, I get it up to a certain extent, right? I feel like if you're a child on the internet, you should never have access to actually like conversing with someone. Dead ass. This might sound, a lot of people might think this is too much or too far. I genuinely think if you were a child on the internet, you should not have access to chat rooms. I don't even think you should be able to comment on public forums. I really don't. I don't think DMs should even be an option. I think then the internet's a relatively alright place, right? With a lot more safety there.
Take accountability, but vows to do better in regards to child safety as soon as...
You can't chat on Roblox until your age is 13, but you can change the age. Fucking 12-year-old on Roblox, they're like trying to type and it's like, can't do that until you're 13. Would you like to increase your age? The fuck?
Possible. At the same time, the Attorney General of Louisiana, Liz
It's also very much still a child. Yeah, that is very true. I'm talking like 18.
Merle would sue Roblox directly, saying that it endangers the safety of the children of Louisiana and that it's overrun with harmful content and child predators because it prioritizes user growth.
I agree, but I also disagree with basically any method of checking users' age. I think... Here's the thing, right? And I feel like this is the be-all and end-all of it. I think it should be a requirement for parents when taking out internet service to disclose if they have children and set up parental controls, seriously, to see what they can and can't access, because that is the job of a parent. I feel like when they take out that internet, it should be a legitimate requirement for the parent to do that. And then if the child ends up getting past it, then fuck knows, bro. I don't know where to go from there. But as a bare fucking minimum, because they're not going to do it by themselves, dude. A lot of parents don't even know what goes on in the age of the internet, right? It should be a requirement from the internet providers for parents. It should be a required thing when they're setting up internet to be like, do you have children? And if they're like, yes, be like, okay, you have to set up parental controls. This is what it does. Please sign here.
Revenue and profits over child safety. She would then conduct a press release showing off some of the crazy games you can play as a 9-year-old on this game.
Jesus
Watch.
Christ.
This is the kind of obscene garbage
I disagree with that point. Why, out of curiosity?
that they are peddling to our children in Louisiana.
Jesus.
I will not stand by and watch this company grow exponentially from exploiting children and facilitating child sexual abuse for profit.
Yep.
That is not something you want an attorney general of a state of the United States to say about you. And if you thought things couldn't get worse, then
God.
Chris Hansen, the man behind To Catch a Predator, came out of retirement saying that he was going to cover what was happening with...
It would require you to inform your internet company when you become a parent too. You're correct. But do you think that's a worse thing than like actually doing that to protect your child? Maybe I'm being naive here, but I don't... What could be bad about having to inform your internet company of you having a child to protect them? I don't think internet service providers are the best people to help with that. Look how much they have scammed the government out of money. Yeah, I know nothing about that, to be fair. Maybe I am just... There's no other way to do it. Or it should be a mandatory thing for parents to be informed on internet safety somehow then. Make it a mandatory thing for parents to learn about internet safety and what goes on the internet nowadays, and then make the parents liable for whatever the fuck, like if their children fuck up and go behind their backs and do shit. And I guarantee you it'd make them be way more under lock and key than they currently are if the parents are liable, right? I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy, dude. I don't know. I don't know a perfect solution, but I feel like that's as close as we could possibly get.
Roblox. That's how you know that you truly fucked up.
Yep.
He's working directly with Schlepp to investigate what's going on with Roblox and will hopefully be releasing a documentary on it
Is he crying here?
sometime in the future. All of this would culminate in the Roblox stock losing around 7% of its market capitalization within just the span of 24 hours.
Yeah, now it's going back up.
In other words, the company had lost over $12 billion in a day. And only after being sued by the Louisiana Attorney General would they finally take down a game that has been reported for months on end by multiple community members by the name of XYZ Public
Jesus
Bathroom
Christ.
Simulator. It's insane. They would then say that they're planning to restrict social hangouts that include private spaces such as bathrooms or bedrooms to ID verified 17 plus users.
Just make it 18, you stupid fucking pricks. These people are so minor coded, it's fucking insane.
Trying their best to do damage control, but only making it worse. Creek would quote tweet this and say, "This is a crazy hill to die on. Roblox bathroom games are games.
Yeah.
Making them 17 plus doesn't solve the issue. 17-year-olds are still minors. Roblox is still allowing kids to be in these games. Holy shit, just ban the damn games.
Yeah.
Nobody wants sex games on the platform."
That's a lie. The pedophiles do.
I mean, yes, this is such a weird hill to die on. Player numbers do matter. Profit does matter for a company, but not through things like this.
No.
If banning games revolving around bathrooms and bedrooms is going to affect your player count and stock price so much, then maybe your company doesn't deserve to exist in the first place. And I mean, by that point, it was official. This had reached mainstream media, the average person, more importantly, parents of children who play this
Good.
game. It had blown beyond proportion. How could a company be so stupid? And unlike every other time they've been exposed, Roblox had to make a solid statement this time to save its skin from being completely burnt to a crisp.
You know, I think that is actually a very good reason why, I've just realized this, why back in the day, these kind of things didn't happen. And it's because the majority of video games that we played back in the day on things like Xbox, shit was actually taken seriously, dude. I remember going into game stores, even with my mum, and I wanted to buy certain games. And because I wasn't 16 or 18 for those games, I literally couldn't. You'd have to ask your mum to, like, or your parent to go into the store alone at some point. And my mum didn't want to do that shit. She didn't want me to play those games.
So what did they do? They, of course, made the situation 1,000 times worse.
Oh, God.
On August 16th, 2025, David Baszucki, the CEO of Roblox, would tweet this out, saying, "Safety and civility have always been our top priority. Here's an update on our safety releases over the past few weeks, including our updated approach to vigilantism. We also preview additional releases in the works," linking a YouTube video. The official Roblox account would retweet this and outline the exact topics discussed here. Okay, well, let's check it out. Oh wait, there's no need. Just look at this. Around the 15-minute mark, here's what the chief safety officer of Roblox would have to say about vigilantes, more specifically people like Schlepp. They would report to the police, and then only after would they let Roblox know. To which Schlepp would say, "Are we serious right now? You're upset that I was reporting information to the police before reporting it to Roblox?" Like,
I have 0 words for this, bro. I have 0 fucking words.
what? Chief safety officer, by the way. I mean, look, guys, this video was 40
No wonder he fucking left if it was the chief safety officer, right?
minutes of mumbo jumbo. It was the most robotic, cringe, and tone-deaf thing I've ever seen in my life. Probably written by ChatGPT and approved by like a team of 50 lawyers. They talked a lot, but essentially said nothing. The same things over and over again. Guys, we have tools, we have parental controls, we're doing our best. Well, your best.
Yeah, 43k dislikes to 5.6k likes is fucking insane, and those 5.6k people are probably the predators. Let's keep it a buck.
Isn't enough, and the like to dislike ratio shows what people
not pre-watched. I just read chat.
Will think of your stupid statement. Not to mention that the CEO got community noted, saying Roblox has a history of refusing to take action against sexual predators, linking 4 different sources. The CEO is being absolutely cooked, so it came as no surprise that just a day later, a petition calling for the removal of David Baszucki had received over 100,000 signatures. The campaign accused Roblox leadership of putting children on the platform at risk and ignoring community concerns. And as all this was happening, as they were saying that their safety features were amazing, as they were banning the word schlepp.
Oh, I think Joel actually told me about this, and I was like, what the fuck is that? It looks like a name of a gun in code or something, but isn't this like some kind of code word for like weird kid shit?
In their game, a user made this video and Schlepp reposted it. Just
Morse code. No, I meant the name.
Watch for yourself. I mean,
I didn't see the
it's
Morse code.
Self-explanatory. Look at this mess.
For the selling for maps account, well, I did the crazy thing. I don't know if I was stupid. Maybe I am an actual f***ing idiot. I tried reporting this profile. I reported it saying, "Yo, Roblox maps, this is a dog whistle for predators, and the bio is in Morse code soliciting photos." And I'm just going to refresh the page in case you don't believe me, but nothing happened to their profile, even though their username is clearly bad. And I'm pointing out their username because Roblox, what they're doing right now is they are moderating users with hashtag free schlepp in their display name. If you put free schlepp in your display name on Roblox, you will get punished. Roblox will punish hashtag free.
Guys, I've said this time and time again, and we have 5 minutes of this video left, but I have to keep reinforcing, how is this platform still a thing? I think it needs shutting down until the investigations are done and until these fucking devs get their ass in gear and fix shit.
Free schlepp, but not selling for maps 1. For the
I mean, honestly, at this point, if I was a predator, I'd be jumping up and down, celebrating the fact that there was a multi-billion-dollar company out there that was protecting me. And instead, banning someone who would go after me. I mean, seriously, can you make this any worse? What was Roblox even doing right now? Well, they were debating the age-old question, 17 or 18. In response for 17-year-olds being allowed into social hangouts that include private spaces such as bathrooms or bedrooms, Roblox has stated they are now considering 17 versus 18 for these experiences.
Consider it fucking harder. Just do it. You shouldn't have to plant the seed of this in these fucking grown adults' heads.
It's like no matter what, you could take anything away from them. You could call them predators, but you could not take the bathrooms and bedrooms away from them. It's like, what the fuck? Why are you dying on this hill? Well, we'd start to understand why. You see, the chief security officer, Matt Kaufman, has some interesting badges in his inventory. Badges can be collected by playing specific levels, and his badges tell us a very interesting story. For example, he had played a game called Pilchero Outfits, closed-off condo game in Roblox The Hatch event. Another badge he had was from Dollhouse RP, placed under review just on August 16th, after this whole scandal had broken out. This is a game that was full of info sharing, age play, dating, etc. He also had a badge from a now banned game called Teddy's Largest Condo. At its peak, this had over 76 million players and it was a dating game. He has a Halloween 2024 badge that was only available for a limited time. Another game he played and has a badge for was Your Sus Roommate, which was banned. It was a suggestive AI girl.
I have to ask this because I don't know how fucking Roblox works. Do you get a badge just for, like, clicking into the game? Yes? Okay. So, a weird kind of benefit of the doubt here. If this is Roblox's chief safety officer, it would make sense that he had to enter these games on his Roblox account to moderate it, right? Yeah? Okay. Then, I don't think this is as bad as it looks. It still looks really fucking suspicious, but I'm sure there were plenty of other badges as well. I don't know, bro. The thing that makes this sus is that he fucking left after this shit, right? He fucking left.
Girlfriend game with a sus ending. Last but not least, he had a badge for Row Meet, a game that was closed by its own developers. This was an Omegle/Tinder-esque game that often saw dating and predatory behavior occur. Interesting. You know, I wish we would finally be able to see the client list of Jeffrey Epstein because I have a sneaking suspicion that maybe Matt Kaufman is on those papers. Now, of course, some people would argue that he was visiting these levels to ban them, but as the chief safety officer, you don't spend your time on Roblox banning individual games. The underpaid moderators do that. That's why it's so suspicious. But this
fair point.
Behavior didn't seem to be exclusive to the chief safety officer. No, this seemed to be a company-wide mindset. Schlepp would tweet out, "This is an alleged quote from a Roblox administrator in a child safety lawsuit." It said, as one former Roblox employee explained in describing the company's approach to child safety, you have to make a decision, right? You can keep your players safe, but then it will be less of them on the platform. Or you just let them do what they want to do. And then the numbers all look good and investors will be happy. I mean, at this point, it was only confirming what we already knew. Roblox just seemed the kind of company that would easily, in a heartbeat, bring back slavery if it meant higher player count and more money. There were absolutely no morals at play here. Let these children have their lives completely ruined because we simply don't want to see our player counts drop. That's evil. That's disgusting. And speaking of evil and disgusting, both MasterCard and Visa are facing immense backlash after forcing Steam and itch.io to remove certain adult games off their platforms. Now, bear in mind, these platforms actually do look out for children and make it extremely hard for them to access such games. I don't know much about itch, but I know that on Steam, there are some very strict parental controls and children will never be able to even see any games deemed adult. These were adult games made for adults.
But the thing is, again, and it's like, this is the whole fucking issue with internet safety for children, right? If a child is making an account, they can pretty much just fucking get around the age restricted stuff very easily by just using a higher age. Other than that, it's like obviously using actual ID, which people are against, or it's using face recognition, which people are also against. There's no fucking solution to this shit. That's the fucking problem, dude. That's why I think parents need to be educated on the actual dangers of the internet and what is bad for the children, and they need to be liable for the actions that their kids do on the internet as well, because then it's going to actually make them like enforce that too.
Visa and MasterCard, the companies that pretty much monopolize payment processing in the world, didn't care.
Yeah.
What's really interesting here is that both Visa and MasterCard are still very happily accepting payments on behalf of Roblox, showing absolutely zero disagreement and not even commenting once about what's going on in regards to children's safety. In fact, what's even better is that both of them are in direct partnership with Roblox, with Visa in particular having acted as a sponsor at some point. So what gives? An adult can't play an adult game, but when children do, it's okay? I mean, at this point, even encouraged? That's kind of weird. But the good news is that even though Visa and MasterCard are spineless and are not doing anything in regards to this, Schlepp is. Enlisting the help of a law firm in order to sue Roblox over what they did to him. I wish him the absolute best, and I really hope he wipes the floor with them in court.
It feels like there's so much evidence now that it's a fucking clear sweep, right? Surely.
He deserves it. Look, overall, this thing has been such a ridiculous...
But again, money talks, guys. Money does talk, clearly, as we've just seen in the whole situation. I don't know fucking how, but it can talk a lot.
Mess. It feels like a fever dream. How could the CEO, the child safety officer, just everyone involved in the executive team of this company see this and think we're doing the right thing? What's the point in being able to grow a company and make a lot of money if you're doing it at the expense of children, when your platform is literally hurting innocence. It simply doesn't make sense. And now people are hoping that unlike every other major controversy that had happened beforehand in regards to child
Don't
safety...
underestimate how Weasley lawyers can be. True. I have seen Breaking Bad in all fairness. Fuck.
with Roblox, this time would be different, especially with the law going
Better
after
Call
them.
Saul.
At the same time, though, while many want to see Roblox face justice, they don't want this used as an excuse to enact something similar to the UK Online Safety Act
Yeah, of
in
course,
the US.
'cause that's also
in other
bad.
words, they don't want lawmakers to limit online free speech while using child safety as an excuse. No one's falling for that. The UK right now is pathetic.
Yep.
It's dystopian.
It
so
is.
if you're American, definitely go sign that petition by Rokana. Definitely express your discontent with this company to your local congressman or senator or whatever. And
Yup.
let's get this company to finally face accountability for all the harm that they have done and continue to do on a daily basis. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video until the very end. I'm sorry for the echo. There's not much I can do about the room I'm in right
shit
now.
show.
I'll see you in the next video, whenever that is. I just hope that things can calm down for a little bit, just for a couple more weeks until my
Yeah.
vacation's over, and I'll see
Poor
you.
Muji,
Yeah, I'll
dude.
see you soon. Thank you so much for watching.
Holy fuck.
I love you so much. Mwah.
My god. Chief Safety Officer, yo man, can you please stop hunting predators? Try to... Actually insane.